weekend I completed my third marathon in 16 weeks, my second in 5 weeks, and pretty proud of being able to do that. I could definitely tell my legs are just plain worn out at this point, so I'm very much looking forward to some downtime here and letting my legs recover and hopefully come back stronger than ever. I finished about at the same pace I did at Marquette, which was a little disappointing because I went out at a much more conservative pace thinking I could easily PR, but ended up getting right about the same pace within a minute of where I finished at Marquette. I still wasn't really too disappointed because I was just really hoping to be able to finish and survive this race after just 5 weeks. Obviously couldn't really fully recover from my last marathon. My last 2 races I ran in between were also very slow, so I knew my legs were just in need of some rest. So was really just hoping to survive this race, and I did that. I had a really fun time. It was my first time running the Chicago Marathon, first time running a race of that size. I've seen estimates from like 37,000 to 41,000 people ran it. I don't know the exact number, but a ton of people ran it. I saw the estimates were like 1.7 million spectators, and there were definitely like people lined the whole length of the course. So that was really awesome. We ran through, I think it was 29 different Chicago neighborhoods, and it was just really cool. They had all kinds of entertainment. They had an Elvis impersonator and drummers and all different kinds of things going on all along the course, so that was really cool. There were aid stations like every mile, mile and a half, so you never felt like you were going along without water or Gatorade if you needed that. They had gels, all kinds of gels along the course, which I didn't take any of those, but they had bananas. I know for sure, I can't remember what all else, but obviously something of that size, very well organized. Afterwards, we got a goodie bag with snacks. They had Gatorade endurance drinks prior to the race, so to get ready, prepare for the race. And all in all, it was just very well organized. I was really impressed. The course itself was very, very flat, very fast. I can definitely tell it would be like a PR type course if you're not familiar with the Chicago Marathon. World records have been set there, so obviously it's a great course. The only really hills there are a bridge every now and then, and they really only go up like, I don't know, 10, 15 feet each, you know, so it's really hardly even noticeable. Right at the very end of the race, there's a little bit of an uphill for a little ways, but it's really nothing compared to any other race you've probably run. So I would definitely recommend it if you're looking for a fast PR type run. It's in early October, so the weather is usually really cooperative for your PRs. The weather was no exception this time. It was like 60 degrees maybe. It got up to a high on Sunday, so it was just about perfect. Everything was just about perfect. So that was one little disappointing thing. Like if I had been totally fresh, I really probably could have nailed it. I snuck in the Marquette Marathon and just couldn't recover in time to really give it my all this race. But I was still very happy to finish. I was very proud to finish. One cool thing that happened after the race, we got free engravings at the Nike store, and when runners walked in, the entire set of employees there stood and gave us a standing ovation, so that was a really cool feeling. So I even, like, random people on the street were congratulating me as I was walking back to my hotel, so that's, you know, that always makes you feel good. So it was really a great experience. Trying to decide whether to shoot for it next year. My main goal is to BQ next year. I really, really, really want to do it. So I'm trying to plan out my set of marathons, and like, I don't know when it's going to happen for sure, obviously. So it's like I'm looking at maybe running the Myrtle Beach Marathon in March, and then I figure that gives me, I could maybe get in another one in May or June, and then maybe run Marquette again in early September if I have to try to sneak in a BQ. So not really sure if I'm going to try to enter the lottery for Chicago again and possibly have to do Marquette and Chicago back to back like this again. Not that it was too bad, really. I survived it, so you can't really complain about that, but I would really love to get a shot at that nice flat course, you know, fully rested, and really try to get a PR. All in all, again, good experience. I was a little disappointed with my time. I thought I could easily PR just by running more conservatively, not pushing for that BQ time, but I ended up right around the same time I just ran at Marquette, so not too disappointing in that given the circumstances. And I'm really just looking forward to now, like I said, taking it a little easy. I took 2 days off. I ran 4 miles today just to kind of stretch my legs out a little bit, but I'm hoping to just take it easy, let my legs fully recover, and hopefully get back to my normal speed, because it's just been a little weird lately where I haven't been able to run as fast as I normally do, and definitely, I think it's fatigue. So I'm hoping to give myself a little bit of rest and kind of get restarted here. Plan to get a nice long training cycle in here leading up to my next marathon, possibly the Myrtle Beach Marathon in March. So I'm looking forward to that. I really want to push for that. And I'm going to do everything I can to try to BQ here in the next year, because I really have my heart set on that. Another cool thing that just came up yesterday, actually, well, 2 days ago, I learned about the Ultra is looking for new brand ambassadors, so I applied for that. So we'll see how that comes out. I would love to be an Ultra ambassador. I've been wearing the Ultra the One as my primary racing shoe. I wore that in Chicago again. I have 2 pairs of them. I like the first one so much, so keeping my fingers crossed for that. That'd be pretty awesome. Either way, I do like those shoes. I wore the Superior for the Pikes Peak Ascent as well. I'm waiting to get a little more mileage on those before I do a shoe review, because I feel like I've basically only worn them for Pikes Peak, and I'd like to, have some wear and tear on to be able to, report back accurately about how they wear. One thing that I was kind of pleasantly surprised by, I thought with 40,000 runners it was just going to be running like this down the street, but the start of the race, it's like 6 lanes wide, and so I started in Corral E because I didn't have a good qualifying time at the time I signed up for it, so I was with a lot slower people than what my pace would be, and so I had to kind of bob and weave through people for like maybe the first 2-ish miles, and then it kind of loosened up a little bit there. I was still passing people for like the whole first half of the race, basically, until I caught up to people that were basically my speed. But it really wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I thought it was just going to be, I was just going to be stuck, running 9-minute miles, and just because I couldn't get around anyone. But there was enough room, even with that many people, just because of the size of the streets. And that's not necessarily a bad thing either, because it kind of forces you to be a little more cautious in those first miles and not go out too fast. So it's like an excuse to kind of pace yourself a little bit slower at the start. So it was a really cool experience. People, supporting you along the way. People gave me 5 when I was looking like I was just dead, and that kind of re-energized me. Those last couple miles, there were a couple people that really cheered me on, and that was really a cool feeling. So definitely a race if you're looking for a PR type effort, if you're looking for that big city type of environment. It was really cool, so I would recommend it for sure. I'm going to be taking a little break from racing. The next one I'm planning to do is on Thanksgiving. I might run another race here at Halloween, a half marathon. I'm kind of on the fence about whether I want to sign up for it or not. I kind of told myself I wasn't going to, but I kind of want to, because it's a smaller race. I know I can probably finish like top 5 easily, but I don't know where my legs are at either, so I'm kind of on the fence about whether I want to run it or not. I love to race, obviously, but I also know that like my body is in need of recovery right now, and so that's probably not the best idea. I will be reporting back. I'm going to try to do a training video, especially now that I have a little downtime. I've recorded it, but I just haven't edited it all together yet, so look for that, and I'll be back reporting on new shoe reviews, new race reviews, and let you know how I'm doing on my goal to BQ. Really hoping for that next year. I'm going to just do everything I can training through this winter to get up to that. Feel confident going into maybe this Myrtle Beach that I'm targeting. It looks really flat and fast, so the timing seems to work well with my schedule, so that's kind of what I'm looking for. So yeah, thanks for watching again. Feel free to subscribe if you like, and I will be back with more content.